Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Friday the 10th, Friday, February the 10th, that is 2022. It's 12:16 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. It's an interesting Friday. Once again, the 314 moving average on the daily is playing a big role in many things. Market somewhat undecided. Bitcoin's kind of sideways with a little bit of extra dump this morning. Some alts are really making it happen. Most are not. Anyway, with that said, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Check it out. All right, looking at FinViz today, since this is the last day the market's open for the week, we got a Dow and a NASDAQ and an S&P. Dow is in the green, 0.27%. NASDAQ is down 0.91. S&P 500 it's down 0.09. Look at the S&P 500 because it and Bitcoin are kind of like, friends. Energy sector in the green today. Definitely what's holding the S&P 500 up, probably from being in the red. Why is energy in the green? I'm not sure. Drug manufacturers, general, definitely in the green. That sector. Healthcare plans doing really good. So basically, people are, using lots of health insurance and burning lots of energy today. There you go. All right. So, US dollar, DXY. DXY, once again, the 314 is a big deal right now. Here's the DXY on the daily chart. It's below the 200 moving average, but it is here. It has actually challenged. It's kind of holding more towards the upside of the 314 than the downside. So it does look like it very well may find support on top of the 314 moving average. For some people, that's pure glory and beautifulness, and for some people, it's not. It all depends on whether you actually have a soul or not. So basically, cold-blooded reptiles want this thing to pump, and real natural humans don't. So here's the deal: dollar strength index going down, downward channel for quite a while. It is beginning to try to challenge the top of that downwards channel. It's definitely working on the 314 moving average. We'll see what happens. If it can't hold it and it dumps and continues down, it's just better for crypto as far as bullish signals in crypto. If it does start pumping, we'll just reevaluate, and there we go. But DXY definitely, I think it's definitely making the crypto market, and traditional market a little bit nervous because what's going to happen there? And that's the Dow. That's the daily index. Let's look at the DXY on the weekly. Interesting. So on the weekly, I mean, it's above the 314, the 200, definitely challenging the top of a downwards channel. So we'll see. DXY maybe going to make a breakout here in early 2023. We will find out. Anyway, definitely something to watch what that thing does. Looking at oil on the daily, green candle. That makes more sense than not. S&P 500. Oops. S&P 500 kind of was working on an upwards channel recently. Here on the daily, but of course it's kind of dropping out of it, mainly because the dollar strength index is pumping. So anyway, down the S&P 500 goes, holding on to a slightly green candle today so far, but very, very slight. Bitcoin, as you can see, it's like the S&P 500 basically got rejected off the 314 moving average on the daily chart. We'll see how that rolls. Gold holding sideways last couple days, slightest bit of a green candle with some wicks today. Silver definitely got its ass kicked the last couple of days. It's trying to make a bounce off the 314 moving average. We shall see. What is it? What is with the 314 moving average? Interesting. It's really playing a role lately. All right. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly, we're coming in at 13.1 billion. That is pretty darn hot for a Friday. So something's going on. All right. Let's see here. Okay. What's going on? 5-minute candles. Let's look at 15-minute candles here. People are trying pretty hard to short and long. You can see all these shorts getting wrecked. That's the purple candles. It's kind of quieting down. Some longs got wrecked. Really, it's kind of tough. Very volatile market. Short moves up and down right now for Bitcoin. We'll take a look at it in a sec. But definitely, I'm seeing, this is more of an intuitive feel. But I look at this thing every day, and I keep it up, and I've kind of gotten a feel for the market and what's going on. If I was to look at this, intuitive read only, you got a lot of retail traders trying too hard to be gangsters in long and short, and they're getting wrecked. The big players are watching you, and they're 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 basically watching your efforts and they're ball dragging across your forehead. Just to be honest with you, just don't try too hard today with Bitcoin, longing and shorting. Okay, because I'm watching retail plays get wrecked. All right. With that said, looking at the exchange trading volume, Binance is 19% up last 24 hours, coming in at 24 billion. Not bad at all. Coinbase is up. Basically, all of the top 20 exchanges are in the green. That's good enough. That makes me happy. Some of the smaller exchanges after that are definitely well in the green. So in general, we definitely have a nice green trading volume on the big exchanges today for spot. That's good. For derivatives, I only really look at Binance because that's the big one. 56 billion in derivatives right now in the last 24 hours. 17.62% up. That's wonderful because really 50 billion is a good day. 60 is wonderful. 70 Lambo. So basically, we are doing good. It's a Friday. We have massive Bitcoin trading volume. Good looking spot, in the green on the big exchanges for all trading pairs. And then the derivatives here are looking pretty darn slick. So I like it. We're moving into a Friday. This is an interesting weekend. Anything could happen, It is the Super Sports Bowl this weekend? I don't know. When is it? Is it this weekend or next week? I don't even know. Anyway, the Goodyear blimps over my house right now, believe it or not. I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, where a lot of the partying for the Super Bowl is happening. This is like the official party location in Arizona. And this place is insane. So anyway, I think the Sports Bowl must be soon, right? Anyway, it ain't today. I know that, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, get the Sports Bowl, the Super Sports Bowl. It's going on this weekend, and you just got to. We're hitting the weekend this Friday after Bitcoin having some serious volatility, with big Bitcoin trading volume, good spot trading volume, good derivatives. So we're kind of hitting this Friday after some serious volatility, unusually strong. Okay. Looking at Bitcoin, 21,751 for a Bitcoin, definitely down a bit recently. Looking at the top 100, the graph is doing really well. Mina protocol is doing really well, and so is Loopring. I forgot last time. Let's just look at these top 100 since they're doing particularly good. Yeah, GRT is definitely one that I've been watching. GRT, Mina, MINA, and then Loopring, which is LRC. Let's look at those before we check out of here. All right, let's keep rocking. Longs versus shorts for Bitcoin, 60% long, 39% short. So basically a 60-40. Definitely a long bias on Bitcoin for Bitcoin. No, long bias on Binance for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, 61% long, 38% short. It's basically about 60-40. So long biases for Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance. Now, looking at Bitcoin here on the 45-minute chart, I kind of fixed this. I did not quite have this right the other day. Let me actually nix the ATR zone just so it's a little bit easier to see this here. So basically, for 20 days, we've been ranging sideways in this. This is what I call like a range, basically. Buy the bottom green, sell the bottom top. This could be a little tighter to make these buys and sells actually work, but pretty much it's ranging. You can see we broke out of it yesterday, and we've been really we'll see what happens. This is the thing. I'm just not convinced. I don't really know what's going to happen. Is it going to just go? Is this going to be a new range that's just a bit lower? Or is it going to get back? Is it going to pump back into this range that it was doing, or what? When you have this kind of volatility, who knows? You kind of got to let it happen, and then figure it out from there. But right now, this moving average right here, this yellow one, I believe is it's the that should be like the 90. Anyway, just play it how you play it. On the 45-minute chart, you see really great immediate price action here, and definitely, if we're blatantly horrifically honest with ourselves, I mean, if you draw a trend line here, bottom of those wicks, we're heading down. Let's just see what happens. Let Bitcoin settle. Who knows? We could be in for a further dump, or maybe we're going to pump back up. But would not surprise me if I was to use my spidey senses. What really I could see happening if things go on a positive note, for real, a perfect BART pattern, bam, and just wreck the shorts. That could definitely happen. That would clear the house right there. And then it's not too far to charge to challenge the 200 moving average and get back on kind of a healthy chart and just get right back into this range. I definitely could see that happening. Let's look at this on the hourly. Hourly looks about the same. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. Yeah, like that 4-hour chart. Oops, sorry about that. So anyway, I won't belabor it, but there you go. There's a 4-hour chart. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Look at that perfect BART pattern on the 4-hour right there. Bam. And there's kind of one here too. So like I say, don't try too hard this weekend. I've been watching the shorts and the longs, and I was over looking at on Bybit, and then it's just kind of carnage over there. Just don't try too hard. I don't understand why people try so hard. It's this weird gangstery mentality. I'm going to long, I'm going to short with derivatives with leverage. Just stop it. Don't wreck yourself unless you're darn sure what you're doing. And when I look at the liquidations, I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. I don't buy it. So anyways, here we go, and there we are. Let's see what happens. If you look at the 4-hour chart, this is very interesting. Where are we? 4-hour chart, there's 200 moving average. That's the big deal. I had not noticed this until now. So 4-hour chart, we came down to the 200 moving average. Now, if we came down to the 4-hour 200 moving average and we find a bounce there, that's fine. That's fine. That would be so powerful. The weight moving average right here is the 200. Now, if we go down to the 314, that would be like around like 19,950. That would kind of suck. I'd like to keep the psychological level of 20,000. But one way or the other, a 200 moving average bounce would be groovy. Not a bad thing. Definitely would clear out some weak hands. It would make the big money that wants to get rid of longs and shorts happy. And one thing we could do, and I think it may have value on the 4-hour chart here. Let's go way back here. Might not match Willie really well. Let's go right here and see where we're at. Okay, boom. This looks kind of good. I kind of wonder. That's probably the right. That's probably the appropriate place. That's like the low. We started moving up from there. Okay, so we're gonna stick with that. So anyway, some of this kind of works. You can see the 382 fib level. It's played a role before back here. You can see that clear as day. The 382 seems to stick here pretty well. 618, not really. The 786 definitely had a little bit of groovy action there. You can even see how the candles kind of worked into the 618. So this fib sequence seems valid enough. 200 moving average seems like a really reasonable spot to bounce. Maybe the 382 fib level, if we get below it at 21,216. Right above the 314 is at a 5 fib level at 20,286. Wouldn't surprise me if we bounce there psychologically, keep above that 20,000 level. And the bottom of the 618 golden pocket is 19,104. So between like 19,104 to like 19,255, that 618 golden pocket, that definitely could be a place to bounce. The 5 at 20,286 could be, or just the 314 itself if we really wanted to dump that low at around 19,900, let's say. Or will we just bounce in the 4-hour 200? Maybe. Wouldn't it be funny if we kind of bounced at the 200 on the 4-hour, yet we wicked down to the 382 at 21,216? That would be interesting. So anyway, y'all, there you go. Until this thing, I think it just needs time. It just needs a little bit of time to figure out what it's going to do. If you're trading, hey, go for it. Amen. In a way, this ranging sideways, maybe we'll end up just taking this and just adjusting this to fit this. Maybe this will be like the new plan. Like maybe this comes down here. If it continues sideways, and we start just doing like that, just make the range a little bigger, or maybe we'll start a new range, something like more like this. I could honestly see this happening. Fix this here. Now we'll finish this up really quick. I don't want to keep everybody. I'm sure you've got your Super Sports Bowl hot dogs and stuff to get to, but I could see us doing something like this. Maybe just making a lower sideways range. Anyway, we'll see. The idea is just let it come to you. Bitcoin needs to sort itself out. This is very volatile, although it's rather inspiring with the volume that we're seeing. It's interesting. Wouldn't surprise me if we just BART patterned right back to where we started. Now, here's a big deal. Bitcoin versus USDT on the weekly. This is something that Jonathan Regan pointed out over at Blockchain Education yesterday, and I think this has this is very valid. This fib sequence I've been looking at for a long time. So first of all, let's just do that real quick. I will not hold y'all up too long. But if we go back to like March of 2020 when we hit the 3K range and fire this fib up, this fib has really, really played a massive role. It's been very, very accurate. It has worked. I like it. It sticks. It's good. So on the weekly chart, yes, we're below the 200 moving average. But look where we're bouncing. The 786 fib level, and also the 786 fib level is right there with the 314 moving average on the weekly. Okay, so we went down. We tried to hold the 200 for a while on the weekly. We went to the 314. We're making a move back up off the 314 moving average, which is also the 786 fib level. A respectable place to bounce. You have the last place you want to bounce. That's where you either bounce or give it all back. We're moving up. We challenged the 200 moving average. It does not. It's fair enough that we got rejected the first time. Are we going to go back down to the 786 or what? You know, we did spend some time there for a while. We were bouncing off the 786 for a while. I could kind of even measure that thanks to the magic of computers. We were kind of bouncing off the 786 there for about, you know, honestly, it's still in play kind of for like 217 days, you know. We only just recently started moving up off the 786. So to bounce off that 200 moving average, the white moving average there on the weekly and get rejected the first time, very well could happen. Now, it's all about, you know, what are we going to see next, really? It's going to be like, are we going to, you know, keep trying and then eventually bonk, get it, or just plummet and it's over. It's back to the 3K days or whatever, you know. There's some people, you know, these soulless, gutless monsters who like want to see that, and that's fine, you know, because if you only knew, it's like Robin Williams said, you know, he said a fake ass smile, if you really, really work at it, can cover up the deepest, darkest despair in your heart, you know. And anyway, so for all y'all wanting to go back to 3K or whatever, you know, just whatever. I feel sorry for you inside, you because I know it's painful. Anyway, so here we go. Are we going to see a 314 moving average bounce on the weekly? Let's find out. It's something to watch because we've started it, and this is good. But if we just bounce between the 314 and the 200 on the weekly, that's never really a strong move in any time frame. So let's just see what happens. This is a wild time. This is powerful. 786 bounce, you know, fib sequence going way back to the you know, to the 3K days of 2020 of what was that yeah, March 2020. So if this sticks, this is powerful, this works. Which way is it going to go? What we could kind of do actually is let's pull in some indicators. Woo! And we'll find out. Okay, let's just do that. The squeeze indicator, one of the most powerful indicators on TradingView, many do believe. The squeeze indicator, look at that. It's trending towards the positive. It's trending towards the positive. This is a weekly chart. It's been trending towards positive for a while we've been riding that 786. So empty, soulless, gutless people who wanted to go back to 3K, choke on that, you know. And then also look at the beautiful directional index going back in the green, and the ADX is kind of getting an upwards tangent. ADX is in the right spot. It's around 24. That's wonderful. 25 is the big signal spot for positivity. So ADX looks kind of positive. Directional index is looking positive. Squeeze indicator is looking kind of good. The volume index here, you know, we need something to happen. As you can see, like back here, we had these beautiful moves up back here. You can see a bit of volume come in. It's not quite as meaningful on the weekly chart, but there you go. This is a beautiful sight to see. I like what I'm seeing. You know, if anybody has interest, I will, like, you know, copy a link to it, this chart, and I'll just stick it in the live chat if anybody might happen to have interest in it at some point. Anyway, that's my take. It looks like with the momentum of these indicators, sure, we got rejected off the weekly, 200 moving average. It became resistance. That's fine, but the 786 is a good bounce spot. 314 is a great bounce spot. Let's see what happens. Are we going to range between the 200 and the 314 on the weekly, or are we going to, get to that glass ceiling of the 200 and make that move, get back here in the 618 golden pocket and start moving back up and seriously getting into Lambo mode? We will find out. It's just hard to tell. And just like today, a lot of volatility recently. Which way is Bitcoin going to go over the weekend? Now, check this out. If we look at the same Fibonacci sequence, that 786 bounce. Now we're above the 200 on the daily chart, and you can see the 314. We're getting bounced off that kind of hard. We're finding a rejection, and we're kind of the directional index and the ADX and the squeeze indicator are kind of showing a downwards move. So let's see what happens. We'll probably need to bounce off this 200 unless we can find some energons before challenging any more upward movements. And that 200 moving average is right here. Like worst case, it's around 19,820. So maybe we'll see a bounce at that 20K psychological level if things don't go well before continuing to move up. So there you go. I mean, if I was a shortened man, it would not surprise me if right now, let me find that thing here. Where is it at? Sorry guys, I know it's right here. Where is it at? Short position. Yeah, short position. If I was a betting person on a short, I would do something like this. That's me. I mean, a pro could maybe put their stop way up here. I'm just going to go like that, and I would bet something like this. And so that's like if I was to open a short right now, thinking maybe we're going to come down to the 200 before we move back up because of the squeeze indicator and directional index moving down, the ADX moving down. That could be like, woo, it could be, it's like 8%, 8%. You could maybe get in a short, especially if you're leveraging it. That'd be kind of badass. Just watch your stop because it might pump too. Anyway, there you go. I mean, that's what I see there. So, somebody might short it at this point. If that's what you feel like doing, go for it. It's just not truly a bad move. The daily does kind of look like we might visit that 200 before moving up, or at least make a little bit of a move down before moving up. So anyway, guys, maybe even hit that 786 if things don't go well. Anyway, I know I'm just babbling. Sorry. Just thinking out loud. That's why I do this. I'm basically I'm doing what I would be doing if you weren't here. So I just record it because it's free, all right. And I put it up there. So XMR versus BTC. I wanted to throw this one out here because here's another 314 moving average. Badass. Here's the thing. XMR has been given a lot back lately. Most people have kind of lost, they're not that jazzed about it. I mean, XMR really took a pretty hard hit. Broke to 200, couldn't hold it. 314. This is a daily chart though. Okay. Here's the thing. Once again, I've been watching XMR. I like it. I like Monero. I think it's a cool project. One of the oldest coins out there. One of the older ones. It's kind of, it's got some gray hairs. If you look, we kind of broke below our channel here. I'm just going to go like this, So we broke out of the channel. But the thing is though, the 314 is right there. It's a daily chart. Directional index very, very in the red. I'm sorry, squeezing the red. Directional index is in the red. ADX is pumping, but it's not where we want it to be. Not seeing a huge volume coming in right now. But anyway, this is the kind of thing. I find that when this happens, when you get a something that, breaks the channel, but then gets back into it, tests, and keep going, that tends to be pretty darn powerful. So it's all about what's going to happen next. Watch this on the daily. Whatever time frame you're kind of playing with, watch it on the daily here. If we see the squeeze begin to turn kind of a dark red like this, a burgundy color, I guess you might say. I call it anyway, never mind. Anyway, watch the daily for this to begin to move up. If we see the squeeze indicators are going in the right direction, directional index, squeeze indicator going in the right direction, directional index going in the right direction. Watch this one. If this guy starts going, that could be a beautiful, sorry about that. That could be a beautiful, beautiful run. So if this one per se, started moving and a person was a little bit, daring, I like forecasts better than those short those things. Let's say you saw it moving and you were like, I feel good about this. I'm going to get a position here. And let's just say it kind of does what it, look at that. Maybe like 41%, because I mean, what if your cup and handle, there's your cup, and there would be your handle, and this is, as Jonathan Regan was doing last night, that's the right side of the cup to be on. What if that's the beginning right there of a cup and handle for Monero? A 314 daily bounce would be powerful. It's given a lot back, so it's time for it's payback time for Monero. So I'm just saying, watch it. It might be a badass play. And if we take this thing, let's look at a 4-hour chart. How's it looking? 4-hour chart still below 200 moving average. That's not very inspiring, really. But even here, you can see the squeeze indicators beginning to lessen. Directional index isn't looking too good. It's really not quite turning up yet, that's for sure. Let's look at an hourly chart. You can see a little bit of upwards movement here in the squeeze indicator. Directional index is beginning to chill out. So just keep an eye on it. Just one to keep an eye on it is the XMR BTC. Okay. As far as alts that are doing good, let's just, you know what? XMR. Okay, we have XMR BTC. I wanted to look at also LRC, BTC, actually LRC USDT. That's on Coinbase. I like that, Coinbase. Okay, not bad. Directional index, squeeze indicator is looking good. Directional index is looking good. ADX needs to turn up, but it broke all the important moving averages, got back above them. Now it's below them. Now it's above them. Hard play, a lot of volatility right now, but definitely at least today it's making some money. I like what I see. Trade at your own risk. I would want this thing to actually kind of get above this previous these previous lines here. Like, it's got to break above that. I kind of want it to do like another. I kind of need like a I kind of need a bit of a higher high here. I guess you could call it. Come on, move. Sorry, I don't want to waste your time. But as you can see, kind of like there's the resistance too. It's going to have resistances coming up. I'm not too excited about it. It kind of needs, for me personally, I kind of need it's got to come up, break above these, and find support and keep going. I'm not saying don't get in it. Look at your time frame, look at how you like trading, and see how it works. But right now, I'm kind of worried about it. Just basically, it's going to have a hard time getting past that previous support. I mean resistance. But looking at the 4-hour, that squeeze indicator is looking good, and directional index is looking good. Hard to play. A lot of volatility recently makes everything a little bit hard to play. So LRC definitely, loop ring definitely worth being on your radar. And then GRT has been on fire recently, like as it's on Coinbase and Binance. I love it. I bet if I fib this, that's a .5 fib. I bet you. Let's look. Boom. Yep. .5 fib bounce. It actually went to the 618 and just touched it, just wicked it. That's what the .5. So squeeze indicator is not looking too positive yet. This is a 4-hour chart. A directional index is wait for the squeeze to turn back up. Wait for the ADX to get above about 25. It's at like 23 right now. This guy will probably continue. So GRT, USDT, watch this one. I like it. It will probably continue upwards in my little humble opinion. Yep. On the 45-minute chart, all the mid-red ribbons have just turned green again. Squeeze is looking great. Directional index is looking great. ADX is looking great. This one's probably got some energy. Trade at your own risk, of course, but GRT versus USDT looks to me like it will probably continue. This is our secret purple list over at Blockchain Education. So I'm not going to show you all the trades that are in here, but we refresh this twice a week so that we're always on the same page. We're trading the same stuff. Right now, we're just doing things against Bitcoin there. Dusk versus BTC, an amazing trade. It took off. Who would have seen that coming? Don't know. I tell you what, though, well, we had it on our purple list, so we did. Anyway, but pumped, boom. Where's it making a bounce? It's 618, and the indicator's looking good. Like I say, there's so much volatility. I'm kind of just look at this huge volatility that came in, moved this thing up. So Dusk versus BTC, making a 618 bounce. Indicators look good. I'm not going to trade anything today, honestly. I just have a small position or two. I want to wait for the world to settle a little bit. And also, it is a sports ball weekend, so be careful. Loop ring LRC, we already looked at it. That's in our list. Mina versus Mina, which is one of the ones that you see doing well today. I bet if we fib this thing, I bet we're going to see something interesting. I bet. Yep, kind of a .5 bounce pretty much there. It's looking good. Everything's nice about this. Squeeze, directional index, ADX, volume, it's looking good. It may continue. I don't like really getting into these patterns here. It's just too hard to tell which way it's gonna, what's gonna happen. I'm gonna give everything this weekend a little bit of time just to sort of like settle before I hop in. Seller network, same thing. We're seeing this pattern all over the place. I really like this one here because of this. You got a fib bounce. I'm gonna do this. It pumped, got a fib bounce, and then 618 golden pocket right there on the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart. I really like what I'm seeing there. This guy's probably going to, looking at the indicators, you're probably going to move up right from now, in my opinion. Not trading advice, just saying I think seller, CELR versus BTC is probably going to move. Yeah, look at that. And look what that is. On the daily chart, came down, bounced the 200 moving average on the daily chart. 200 moving average is above the 314 moving average, which is important. That's very powerful. Daily squeeze indicators looking good. Directional index is looking good, and so is volume. Would not surprise me if this guy continues up. Seller network versus BTC is the one trade I would do maybe today. Actually, I might even hop in there. I'm going to watch it a little bit closer here on the 45-minute chart for immediate price action, and I'll hop in, after I have a grilled cheese. All right. Okay. Anyway, everybody, feel good stuff from here. And sorry to be so winded today. I know the brevity is the true Lambo action. Ben, this guy here, I like him. Great LinkedIn post. A little bit of something motivational, happy, positive today. Risk can be dangerous, but routine can be deadly. Comfort has killed more dreams than daring ever did. Like Goethe said, I think it was Goethe or Goethe said, be bold, fortune favors the bold. Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss and doors will open where they would not be for another, but have been created by your bliss. By following your bliss is not just game show happiness. It's wiping the sweat off your brow and trading hard on the weekend while everybody's out doing sports ball. Risk can be dangerous, but routine can be deadly. Comfort has killed more dreams than daring ever had. And so is perfection, All right. One kind of slight news story here, which I know you already know about, but you got to realize this is one of the things about the volatility in the market right now. And I think so much of this volatility has to do with, a lot of stuff, right? But this is a big deal. I think this is one of the things that's causing global instability in the markets is this. How does it look to Russians after Tigers and Panthers, tanks named after cats in World War II, see Germany attacking them once again? The Iron Cross is now a Russian war meme. Every escalation more tightly unifies Russian national will while cutting away at NATO confidence and morale. The thing is, the Tiger tank you see there was a badass tank, and now the new whatever that thing is, tank, whatever cat name it is, you've got to realize the Germans, the Russian psyche when they see German tanks with the Iron Cross coming across Ukraine. If they're dumb enough to do this, it's on. Because if I was Russian, I'd be like, it's time to go visit Berlin again. It's not going to go over well. It's friggin' stupid. We have children as Western leaders right now. This should never happen, ever. Stupid move. You're going to have every, fighting age man, every child, every babushka, old sweet lady, coming at you with her damn broom if you do this. So anyway, that's one of the things making the markets unstable. I guarantee it. Anyway, remember, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, you are an optimist. You have an optimistic view on a beautiful science fiction future for humanity. I'm glad you're here, part of the first peaceful revolution that's ever existed globally. It cannot be stopped. Keep stacking those sats. And remember, not only do they build wealth for yourself and generational wealth, they also punch a disgusting globalist right in the nuts like this evil ass clown. So take care. I'll see you again tomorrow if the sports ball don't get me and that blimp don't crash into the house. It's kind of weird being here right now. The energy is just, it's crazy. It's crazy.